to do, make another vid and film on the content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Okay, James from Harshman Hills asked me to do a striker. I'm going to make a U striker out of that, but it's a variation on what I'm going to do. Instead of making curlicues here, I've actually seen a striker that is just like this, but they basically just put a bend in it. So that's what I'm going to do. I've marked out the middle of it, and I am just going to put a bend in it. So I'm going to put it in the forge now, get it hot, and once it gets hot, I'll do the first bend on the anvil and we'll go from there. But I've marked it here. What I'll do is mark it on the anvil as well, so I basically know where the middle is on the striker. These soapstones usually stay in the forge under heat, but it's easy enough to mark it on the anvil there. I basically know where I'm going to bend it, so yeah, I should be able to just put it on the horn and get a bend on it and just start bending it over. And then once I give it a bend, I'll clean it up and should be a simple bend over. Clean it all up, quench it, and then grind it, and it should be all done. Anyway, go from there. Go. Okay, first heat. I can about see where that mark is. It's about there. It's just slow and steady. You don't want to get a crinkle in it. With these drastic bends like this on thin stock, you don't want to, with the thin stock like that and a drastic bend like that, you don't want to get a crinkle, and its tendency wants to bend like that, twist. So you do multiple heats every time and just do a slow bend over. Probably take me 4 heats to get that around. Second heat. This one's just trying to get it straight again. See how it's twisting up? You've got to try not to allow it to do that. But because this is high carbon steel, as soon as it loses its heat, you don't want to be hitting it, otherwise I'll just crack it. See how it twists up? It's always wanting to twist. I've done virtually no bending. Different angle. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Better horn. Not as aggressive. We've got a good. That was a lot better. I'll do one more heat on that anvil, on the big anvil here, because it's got a lot better curve. I can get it around. We're getting there. See how we're getting a good twist on it? I just got to make sure that these tips are about even. So I've got to start thinking about that now. I might have to move it over a bit here because that's still hideously hot. I move it over here and try and twist it down a bit here because I've got to move this one down by the looks of it. I might grab it on this side and put it in this side. And that way when I'm moving it, I'll be hitting this side here and move it that way. Yeah, I'll go that way. Now I'll move over to the other, I think I'll move over to the other anvil now, because that's coming around very nicely. This one's going to be a bit longer, but I will, when I move over to this one, I can move this one there. I don't want to hit that because that's black heat. Yeah, I'll move it there. I'll be able to tap it here and move this, tap this one here and move this one down further. I'm losing heat, but I've got to get a good hold on it. See how pretty even that is now? Now I'm just going to close it up. Next heat, I'll close it up and then clean it all up. And that's getting very close to being done. Okay. Keep working the centre of it there, because as you're twisting it over, don't touch it because it's bloody hot, it bunches up there, so you've got to work the centre of it there with the hammer there to get all the bunching out of it. Anyway, that's pretty close to being about finished. I just got to flatten it now, put my touch mark on it, give it a thermal cycle, and that's about exactly what the picture looked like. So I'm very happy with the way that turned out. But it is, you notice that end was very flat. It's a bit raised here. There's no bunching there. It all looks pretty good. So I'll get it in the forge, get it hot, give it a good flatten, put my touch mark on it, give it a thermal cycle, and then we'll go into the last stages of it. I'll show you the quench and whatnot. It is a little bit not even here, so I might just draw it out a little bit just so that the inner tines are perpendicular as well. Give it another heat. That tine is still not straight. See how it's... I might have to file it. I don't know. It's not real. It's a little bit kicked in here because it goes around and it kicks in. I might see if I can just kick this out, the bottom bit out a little bit, because it's bent here, just that little bit there. See if I can straighten that one bit out, and then that'll be it. Yeah, right there. It's this bit here. It needs to come out a little bit. Yep. think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. Yeah, that's it. That fixed it. That's even now. See how it's evened up? It's come up even now. Anyway, I'm going to touch mark it and give it a thermal cycle. Get it hot, touch mark it. Just making sure it's all flat on the anvil. You only get one good go of this. There's no stacking. There's no stacking in there. That looks all pretty even. They're even almost exactly the same down here. If you put them up against the edge of the anvil, they're nearly the same. That's still very hot. If that had a point on it, it would be the same. Anyway, that's pretty close. It's close enough for me. Not real pedantic about that. I'll just get it. I'll show you what happens now. What I do to get a for a thermal cycle, put it in there. What you want is just a red heat, so a little bit hotter than that. Put it down there, down the lower light, so these other lights don't let you see the light, see the heat properly. That's about perfect. That glowy red light, put it on there, and then just let it cool down, and that gives it a thermal cycle. This one I did a little while ago. It's probably still got a bit of heat, but I've got a glove on. That's that teardrop I did, and that's been thermal cycling now for a while. Now I'm going to go and get this one hot, quench it, and we'll go from there, and then clean it up, and yeah, it'll be finished today too. Okay, quench time. That's a water quench. I thoroughly quenched, so the whole thing went in water. That's straight out of the quench tank. No cracks, no warps. What I'll do now is anneal those little tines with the propane torch, just to soften them up, and then clean them up on the grinder. Okay, this one's going to go in. I'm going to get a bright orange on it over the whole thing. It's going in the quench tank. It's been in a thermal cycle for about 20 minutes. I just forged that 12mm heavy duty or extra heavy duty tent peg. Oh, here. So started with that 12mm mild steel, turned it into that because I wanted to have a few more of them. There's the original pattern. I did a little bit of a snafu. I cut it off a little bit too short. Anyway, it'll still work as a tent peg. So I've got one more to do with them, and I've got 2 more of the 10mm heavy duty tent pegs. So yeah, anyway, you have a look. That's almost got to the orange. You probably won't see it. Get it to the point where it's got no shadows. It's light orange over the whole thing, or yellow. It'll be yellow over the whole thing, and then it's going into the water. I think another 30 seconds and it'll be right to go. I'll just turn it over. Yeah, it's very close, very close. Might as well wait. And it'll go into the quench tank. As I said before, I do a thorough quench in water, which is a very severe quench. For strikers, I want maximum sparkability out of it at the cost of durability. If you drop these on concrete, they tend to break. But I like sparks. There it is, it's ready to go. I swish it around like that so that it doesn't form a air pocket around the thing, so it actually gets quenched properly. The other way is to do a chopping motion, but I just do a figure 8, and that there, just get the glove off, and there it is, comes straight out of the quench tank. It's cold to the touch, it's got a bit of scale on it, that's all good. This one's not going to get annealed at all. What I'll do now is I'll go onto the grinder. I'm not going to do that because it's going to be very loud. I'll just grind the outer edge just to get a little decarburization on it, and then I'll spark test it and we'll show you how it is. I'll wire wheel it all, clean it all up, and I'll show you the finished product when I'm finished. I won't show you any of the grinding or wire wheeling, but I will show you the spark test and what it looks like at the end. Okay, there they are, all finished up, all cleaned up, touch mark. I did anneal these ones, but after you put it on the wire wheel, they the blue mark goes off. This one cleaned up, touch mark again. I did get some hammer marks in there, but that, I think it's more a hammered scale into there. Here's the spark test. That's one side. Seems to be sparking alright. One side. That one's sparking like a champ. The other side. Yeah, that's sparking really well too. Yeah. That's both sides. Yeah, no dramas. So that's it. 2 strikers done. Variation on the U, which is a teardrop, and another U, which I saw on a picture. Anyway, thanks for watching.